In Ecuador, a land of extraordinary biodiversity and striking contrasts, a group of biology students from Cornell University embarked on an extraordinary expedition of learning and discovery. Organized by the Cornell Ornithology Lab, this journey would take them through some of Ecuador's most breathtaking regions, from the lush mangroves of Churute to the rugged terrain of Pallatanga, and all the way to the unique ecosystem of the Galapagos Islands. It was here, on the islands that inspired Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, that the students would encounter some of the most fascinating creatures on the planet. From the iconic Galapagos tortoise to the blue-footed boobies and the playful sea lions, these unique animals would offer the students a first-hand look at the principles of natural selection and adaptation that Darwin himself had observed over a century before. As the students explored the islands, they would come to understand not only the science of evolution, but also the importance of conservation and preservation of these remarkable species and their habitats. It would be a journey of education, exploration, and discovery that would stay with them for a lifetime. The journey began in the bustling city of Guayaquil, Ecuador. The group gathered at 7 a.m. and loaded their vehicles for their expedition to the Churute mangroves. Excitement filled the air as they set out on their adventure. As they approached the mangroves, the group switched to canoes and began their journey into the heart of the ecosystem. The knowledgeable guides led them through the winding waterways, pointing out the unique characteristics of the mangroves. They learned how the trees are able to survive in the brackish water by filtering out the excess salt, and how they even use it to their advantage, sacrificing leaves to concentrate the salt and then shedding them to remove the excess. The group spotted all sorts of fascinating creatures during their journey through the mangroves. They marveled at the bright red claws of the violin crabs, watched as various species of herons waded through the shallow water, and even spotted the distinctive spoonbill heron with its unusual spatula-shaped beak. After their time in the mangroves, the group continued on to the Hacienda Cacao Mango, where they learned about the process of making chocolate from the very beginning. They witnessed the harvest of the cacao pods, tasted the sweet pulp surrounding the beans, and watched as the beans were fermented and dried in preparation for roasting. The group then observed as the roasted beans were transformed into the final product, as they were ground and blended with sugar and other ingredients to create a delicious artisanal chocolate. They even had the opportunity to try their hand at making their own chocolate bars, an experience they would never forget. As the sun began to set, the group arrived at Pallatanga, where they would spend the next 2 nights. The following day, they woke early to venture out into the surrounding jungle to observe the birds that called the area home. They spotted countless species, including the brilliantly colored toucans with their distinctive large beaks. They also visited a nearby waterfall, where they reveled in the cool mist and the rush of the cascading water. The beauty of the natural world surrounded them, and they felt grateful to have the opportunity to witness it firsthand. After their time in Pallatanga, the group returned to Guayaquil to prepare for the next leg of their journey, an expedition to the world-renowned Galapagos Islands. With the memories of the mangroves, the hacienda, and Pallatanga fresh in their minds, They set off the following day towards this iconic archipelago, ready for the next chapter of their adventure. As the group arrived at Baltra Airport and crossed the Itabaca Channel, they made their way up to the highlands of Santa Cruz Island, where they were greeted by a torrential downpour. The rain was so intense that it felt as though they were being baptized in the very essence of Galapagos itself. The group was treated to a truly unforgettable sight. Upon arrival at Hacienda El Manzanillo, the group enjoyed a sumptuous lunch before setting out to explore the property. They were amazed by the freedom that the tortoises and other wildlife enjoyed here, with no restrictions on their movement or behavior. The woodpecker finch and yellow warbler were just a few of the many species of birds that they encountered along the way. As they spent the afternoon marveling at the beauty of Galapagos, the group couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder at the sheer majesty of this incredible ecosystem. This was only the first day of what promised to be an unforgettable journey, filled with countless more marvels and discoveries yet to come. The highlands of Santa Cruz have been a true highlight of our journey. We started our day hiking through misty forests and open meadows and ended up in the midst of giant tortoises, grazing peacefully. Now, as we set sail towards Floriana Island on board the Grand Daphne, we're eager to uncover more of Galapagos's wonders. Our first stop in Floriana is Post Office Bay, a site steeped in history. Here, in the 18th century, whalers and sailors established a crude mail system, leaving letters in a wooden barrel for others to pick up and deliver to their destination. Today, visitors can still participate in this tradition, leaving postcards and picking up ones addressed to their home country. The bay is also a great place to snorkel, with clear waters and diverse marine life. As we continue our journey through the Galapagos Islands, we come across one of the most fascinating geological features of the archipelago: the lava tunnels of Floriana. These tunnels were formed thousands of years ago, when molten lava flowed from nearby volcanoes and hardened on the surface, while the interior kept flowing, leaving behind hollow tubes. Our group of students and teachers from Cornell University had the privilege of exploring these incredible tunnels.
The white rocks right there, it's a little slidey, but you can step on it, it's okay, you just slide a teeny tiny bit. That's why you use these.
As we entered the first tunnel, we were immediately struck by the eerie beauty of the place. The walls were smooth and twisted. As we ventured deeper into the tunnels, we found ourselves navigating a maze of passages, some so narrow that we had to crawl on our hands and knees, others wide enough to walk upright. And as we looked closer at the walls, we could see intricate patterns and textures created by the flow of lava and the subsequent cooling and solidification. One of the most fascinating things about the lava tunnels of Floriana is the sheer scale and complexity of the network. We only explored a small portion of the tunnels, but they extend for miles under the surface of the island, creating a hidden world that few humans have ever seen. As we emerged from the tunnels, we were left in awe of the power and beauty of nature. The lava tunnels of Floriana are a testament to the incredible forces that shape our planet, and a reminder of how much there is still left to discover and explore in this world. In the afternoon, we head to Punta Cormorant, a beach known for its unique greenish sand. The sand here is made of tiny crystals of olivine, giving it an otherworldly hue that contrasts with the turquoise waters. The beach is also home to a colony of flamingos, which feed on the brine shrimp that thrive in the lagoon behind the beach.
So, all vertebrates actually have to get their carotenoid pigments, which has the pigments that make yellows, orange, reds, and pinks in flamingos. They have to get them first from their diet, from what they eat. But those pigments from their diet are almost always yellow. So in order to produce your reds and oranges and pinks, after these birds eat them, they have to metabolize them into these other forms before they deposit it into their feathers as pink liquids.
Can humans synthesize colors?
So we can synthesize melanins, so that's how we get a lot of our blacks and browns. But we cannot synthesize carotenoids. We can't make them on their own. We would have to get them first from what...
Perfect. Thank you, Sarah.
As we set sail towards our next destination, the majestic island of Espanola, we can't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder at the natural beauty that surrounds us. From the towering cliffs and sweeping beaches to the teeming marine life and unique flora, Galapagos has captured our hearts and minds. As we approach Espanola, we're ready for another adventure, eager to see what secrets this island holds. As we set foot on the island of Espanola, we were greeted by the raw beauty of its volcanic terrain. The rugged landscape was a sight to behold, and as we explored the island, we discovered its abundant wildlife. Although it was not the season for albatross breeding, we still marveled at the sight of the magnificent birds soaring above us, riding the thermals. We learned that Espanola is one of the few places in the world where these incredible birds breed, and that their survival is of paramount importance. As we continued our journey, we encountered the Galapagos hawks. These magnificent birds of prey are a symbol of the island's power and resilience, and we took a moment to observe them and make some quick sketches and notes of their anatomy. Next, we came across the marine iguanas, also known as the Christmas tree iguanas due to their colorful markings. It was mating season, and we witnessed these prehistoric-looking creatures battling it out for territory. We were amazed by their resilience and toughness, and it was a reminder of how vital it is to protect their fragile ecosystem.
So, April is the month where the marine iguanas start getting really busy, start competing for nesting grounds. So we've seen a lot of iguanas fighting with each other, forcing with each other, and that's because the nesting sites are very restricted. There's not much available, and so therefore they have to make sure they get them first and then get the best spots. And then, of course, the strongest will prevail, and the weakest will just have to wait until there is something available.
As we continued along the rugged coastline, we were treated to the sight of Nazca boobies and blue-footed boobies diving into the water to catch fish. We were impressed by their incredible agility and their keen hunting instincts, and we were privileged to witness a family of Nazca boobies caring for their young.
Lorena, so we came to the island of Espanola, and so far, what do you think of it?
I think it's really different from the other islands we visited. Like the kind of grass, the vegetation is really interesting. And also, like, as you walk, it changes a lot in terms of...
And so far, what have you learned from Espanola in terms of the biological diversity?
It's the nesting site for the Nazca boobies and the albatrosses. Although they are not here yet, they nested with Thailand needed to cope. The iguana shoe was very interesting, seeing like the nesting sites for those for the females for chasing and fighting each other for the nest.
So in terms of survival, what do you think the fight is all about?
the fight of the iguanas for better places to lay their eggs and raise their little iguanas. Yeah, because there's not really much space to nest and the rocks here, so areas for nesting are constrained so far.
And the Nazca bluebies, what do you think of them?
They're really cool. They kind of blend really well with the rocks, I think. Yeah, with the white.
Perfect. Gracias.
As the morning came to an end, we bid farewell to the magnificent creatures of Espanola Island at Punta Suarez. But the adventure was far from over, as we were only just getting started. Our journey continued as we set sail towards the Gardner Islet and the Gardner Bay, ready to explore more of the wonders of the Galapagos Islands. The excitement was palpable, and we eagerly anticipated what was to come next. The adventure was now nearing the end of its third day, but it was far from over. As the day drew to a close, the group made their way to Gardner Bay, where they lounged on the soft, white sand and took in the breathtaking view of the turquoise waters. The sun had begun its descent into the horizon, casting a warm, orange glow across the sky, and the students sat in silence, reflecting on the incredible experiences they had had so far. Although the day was coming to an end, the students knew that the adventure was far from over. They had so much more to discover and explore in this magical place, and they were excited for what lay ahead. The Galapagos Islands had captured their hearts and souls, and they knew that this would be an adventure they would never forget. On the fourth day of their expedition, the students set their sights on San Cristobal Island. As they arrived, they embarked on a thrilling panga ride along the towering cliffs of Cerro Brujo. The rugged terrain and spectacular rock formations were a sight to behold as the students marveled at the vast beauty of the Galapagos Islands. After the exhilarating ride, they made their way to Cerro Brujo Beach, where they conducted observations and notes on the ecosystem. The beach was a stunning sight, with its pristine white sands and crystal clear waters. The students were amazed by the incredible diversity of flora and fauna present on the island. In the afternoon, they visited the charming town of Puerto Bacarizo Moreno, the capital of the Galapagos province. The town is of great historical significance, having served as a strategic port for many expeditions throughout history. Next, they ventured up to the highlands of San Cristobal Island, where they visited the Galapaguera de Cerro Colorado, a breeding center for giant tortoises. Here, the majestic creatures roam free and thrive in their natural habitat, allowing visitors to witness their impressive size and unique features up close. This sanctuary not only provides a safe haven for the tortoises, but also serves as a crucial conservation effort to preserve these magnificent creatures for future generations. The center was a fascinating look into the conservation efforts of the islands, and the students were awed by the incredible work being done to protect the endangered species. Finally, they made their way to Laguna El Junco, a freshwater lagoon nestled in the mountains of San Cristobal. The stunning views of the lagoon and the surrounding hills were breathtaking, and the students were thrilled to observe the magnificent frigate birds bathing in the sweet waters of the lagoon. As they prepare for their journey, the students reflect on the many incredible experiences they have had so far in the Galapagos Islands. From the stunning cliffs of Cerro Brujo to the charming town of Puerto Bacarizo Moreno, they have seen and experienced so much in such a short time. But they know that the adventure is far from over. Santa Fe Island is home to some of the most unique and fascinating creatures in the Galapagos. They cannot wait to explore this incredible ecosystem and discover all that it has to offer. As the students set out on their expedition to Santa Fe Island, they were filled with a sense of excitement and anticipation. And as they hiked along the island's rugged interior, they were struck by the stunning natural beauty that surrounded them. The trail wound its way through a world of contrasts, from towering cliffs and rugged coastline to a lush interior filled with unique and fascinating wildlife. And as they made their way deeper into the heart of the island, they were rewarded with an incredible display of biodiversity. Along the way, they were treated to sightings of playful sea lions basking on the shore, towering cactus forests teeming with life, and curious Galapagos land iguanas munching on cactus pads. And then, just when they thought the adventure couldn't get any better, they spotted the elusive Galapagos hawk perched high on a tree, surveying its kingdom. It was a truly unforgettable moment, one that captured the essence of the Galapagos Islands and all the wonder and mystery that they held. But the real magic happened underwater. As the students dove into the water, they were transported to a realm of awe-inspiring discoveries. There, they swam amongst playful sea lions, frolicking and darting around them. They marveled at the breathtaking colors and intricate patterns of the coral reefs, each teeming with a multitude of marine life. And in the midst of it all, they felt a deep sense of reverence for the incredible ecosystem that surrounded them. All in all, it was an extraordinary morning, filled with moments of pure wonder. As the day came to a close, the students couldn't help but feel a twinge of sadness knowing that their adventure in the Galapagos was slowly coming to an end. With only 2 days left to explore, they were determined to make the most of their time and soak up every last moment of this incredible journey. As they boarded the boat and set their sights on Genovesa Island, they felt a sense of excitement building within them. For even though their journey was drawing to a close, they knew that the wonders of the Galapagos were far from exhausted. There was still so much to discover, so much to learn, and so much to appreciate about this magical place. Continuing with our story, the 6th day of the expedition was one of the most anticipated by the students, as they were going to explore the beautiful island of Genovesa. This island was formed by the collapse of a volcano, creating a unique landscape filled with volcanic craters and steep cliffs. The expedition started early in the morning at Darwin Bay, where the students were immediately amazed by the variety of birds that inhabit the area. They saw Nazca and red-footed boobies, finches of all kinds, lava gulls, frigate birds, and various types of herons. The students took notes and made drawings of the flora, fauna, and geology of the area.
Describe its behavior. And then on the other side of that same page, and this is also something you could do later on in the boat, we want you to write about sexual selection and what you're seeing here. Write about why the frigate birds might be spending so much time displaying, what is it about the variance in reproductive success that might drive evolution towards this really, really extreme courtship display? Think about things like the operational sex ratio, things that have come up in class.
Well, I think when you're originally thinking about coming to the Galapagos Islands, your focus is really on what Darwin discovered here, which is natural selection, to put that theory together. But I think being in the Galapagos, and especially here on Genovesa,
you might start to understand that there are a lot of other forces that are contributing to the biodiversity on the islands other than just natural selection. So there's a lot of other forces in evolution, like gene flow and genetic drift. And genetic drift actually might be one of the most important ones that we often ignore, and that's random evolution, so chance evolution. When we teach evolutionary biology, we often teach it to them sort of one thing at a time so that they can understand it in a simple way. But really what we want them to ultimately understand is that all of these different things are interacting with each other all the time, and everything's always changing. And so this is really the perfect setting to see that, to really appreciate that.
What difference does it make?
Everything is different. It's completely different because you're seeing everything in real life. You're interacting with it, you're seeing it, you're hearing it, you're smelling it, you're feeling it. So it's a complete immersion in biology, which is completely different than what we're doing in the classroom. We do our best in the classroom, we show them videos and we talk about it very, in depth, but being here and really experiencing it and seeing it is just another world.
Thank you, Abby.
Yeah.
After spending the morning at Darwin Bay, the students went snorkeling at the base of the cliffs. The underwater world was teeming with life, and the students were delighted to see a vast array of fish, fur seals, and even hammerhead and Galapagos sharks. The students were thrilled with the experience and couldn't wait to see what else the day had in store. To close out the day, the students went in search of the elusive Galapagos owl at Prince Philip's Steps, the highest point of the island. As they hiked through the volcanic landscape, they were surrounded by the fragrant scent of Palo Santo trees. They explored the nests of Nazca boobies and frigate birds and descended into a deep ravine that the Galapagos owl calls home. The students were awestruck by the sight of the magnificent owl and spent the rest of the day admiring the unique landscape that surrounded them.
How do you fancy this trip, taking the students out in the field rather than being in a classroom?
That's been a lot of fun for me. It's, I think, the first time I've experienced a field course. So talking about concepts while we're experiencing them, to me, has been really helpful for thinking about how to teach those concepts, but seeing how excited the students get about it when they're actually experiencing it is, it's unmatched. I mean, I have not seen that in the classroom. It's as simple as that. When they're actually experiencing it, it kind of sparks their curiosity and their interest. And you see genuine excitement about these concepts that in the classroom seem like just part of the tedium of being in college, right? That's been amazing to see that.
As the day drew to a close, the students returned to the ship to prepare for their final day on the islands. They were filled with a mix of emotions, grateful for the incredible experiences they had shared, but sad that their adventure was coming to an end. Despite the bittersweet feelings, they were all excited to see what the final day of the expedition had in store for them. As the sun rose on the final day of their expedition, the students awoke with a mixture of excitement and sadness in their hearts. It was hard to believe that their incredible journey through the Galapagos Islands was coming to an end, but they were determined to make the most of their last day on this magical archipelago. Their destination for the day was the rugged and stunningly beautiful island of Santiago. The day began with an early morning snorkel in the crystal clear waters of Bartolomé Island, where they were greeted by a spectacular sight. A large school of black striped salemas and sardines swimming playfully around them. And then, to their amazement, they saw the elusive and adorable Galapagos penguins, darting in and out of the water with incredible speed and agility. It was a truly unforgettable experience. But their adventure was not yet over. After the snorkel, they headed to Sullivan Bay, a stunning landscape of black and red lava that stretched as far as the eye could see. The students learned about the different types of lava flows and how they were formed, while marveling at the stunning views around them. They walked among the jagged rocks, feeling the heat rising from the ground, and were awed by the power of the natural forces that had shaped this land. As they reflected on their journey, they realized that they had experienced something truly extraordinary. From the mangroves of Churute to the lava fields of Santiago, they had been privileged to witness some of the most incredible natural wonders on the planet. They had seen giant tortoises, sea lions, sharks, rays, and an incredible variety of bird life. They had explored pristine beaches, hiked through rugged terrain, and snorkeled in crystal clear waters. And through it all, they had learned about the importance of conservation, the fragility of our planet, and the need to protect these incredible ecosystems for future generations. As they said goodbye to the Galapagos Islands and boarded the boat that would take them back to the mainland, the students knew that this was an experience that would stay with them for the rest of their lives. They felt privileged to have been able to explore this unique and extraordinary place, and they knew that they would carry its lessons and beauty with them forever. For them, the Galapagos would always be a symbol of the beauty, wonder, and awe-inspiring power of nature, and a reminder of the importance of protecting the world's most precious treasures.
I've seen like firsthand examples of selection, sexual selection, natural selection, and I think it was already solidified just from learning about it in high school and in some college classes, and I think seeing it firsthand really just